It happened during the worst storm we'd had in years. The power went out right after dinner, plunging my old rental house into total darkness. I grabbed my phone for light, but the battery was already low. I remembered there were emergency candles in the basement. I hated going down there. The stairs creaked, and the place always smelled like mold, and something else, something metallic. I lit a small flashlight and headed down. As soon as I stepped onto the basement floor, my light flickered. I tried to shake it back to life, but it died. Great. I stood there in total darkness, trying to remember where the shelf was. I reached out slowly, running my hand along the wall until I felt the rough edge of a wooden shelf. I grabbed a candle and felt around for a lighter. Got it. I struck the lighter and froze. There was already a candle burning on the floor. A single white candle, small flame flickering in the draft, and beside it, muddy boot prints leading toward the corner of the basement, disappearing into the darkness. I backed away slowly, heart racing. I didn't make a sound. I didn't call out. I didn't care who it was or why they were there. I ran up the stairs, slammed the door, locked it, and called the police. They searched the house but found no one. The footprints? Gone by the time they checked. I moved out 2 weeks later. I don't care if it was a squatter, a prank, or something else. I'm never living alone again. The neighborhood lost power around 9 p.m. The whole street went dark at one's houses. Streetlights, everything. I went to grab some candles, thinking nothing of it, but then I heard knocking. 3 slow knocks on my front door. I checked through the peephole, but it was too dark to see anyone. I called out, "Who's there?" No response. I stood there for a minute, unsure what to do. Then the knocks came again, this time on my back door. I spun around, my heart racing. I live alone. No one should be back there. I grabbed a kitchen knife and moved toward the back. But when I peeked through the blinds, no one was there. Just the empty backyard, barely visible in the moonlight. I locked the door, double-checked every window, and sat on the couch with my phone in hand. No signal. Then I heard it again, this time on the window, right behind me. I turned slowly. Nothing. No face, no figure, just 3 smudged fingerprints on the glass. I packed a bag, got in my car, and drove to my brother's house. I stayed there until the power was restored. I never found out who or what was knocking. I live in a small apartment complex, and we had a scheduled power outage for maintenance. It was supposed to last 2 hours. No big deal. I lit a few candles and sat in bed, scrolling on my phone until the battery died. That's when I noticed something weird. I could hear footsteps in the hallway outside my door. Heavy, slow footsteps. Back and forth, over and over again. At first, I assumed it was my neighbor. But after 30 minutes of the same pacing, I started to feel uneasy. I walked to my door and listened. The steps stopped. I slowly turned the deadbolt to make sure it was locked and heard someone whisper on the other side. "I can hear you." My blood ran cold. I didn't dare make another sound. I backed away, heart pounding, and grabbed the heaviest thing I could find, a cast iron pan. I stayed in the dark, holding my breath for what felt like hours. Eventually, the power came back on. I cracked the door and peeked outside. The hallway was empty, but on the floor in front of my door was a key. Not mine, not my landlord's. Someone had been standing there, holding it. I live on the 4th floor of a small apartment building on the edge of Seattle. It's nothing fancy, but it's quiet and safe. Or, I used to think it was safe. Last November, the city got hit with a windstorm that knocked out power all over the area. I still remember the way the lights flickered twice, then everything went black. I sat in the dark for a minute, waiting to see if the power would come back. It didn't, so I grabbed a flashlight from my junk drawer and decided to light a couple of candles. It was almost peaceful for a while. The city outside looked strange, like a lifeless shadow of itself. Every window pitch black, every street light dead, just moonlight and outlines of buildings. I was scrolling on my phone when I heard a sound. A soft tap, tap, tap. It was coming from the balcony door behind me. I live on the 4th floor. No stairs, no fire escape, just a drop straight down to the alley below. I turned around slowly. The curtain was drawn, but I could see the slight outline of a figure standing on the other side. I froze. I tried to convince myself it was a trick of the light, maybe a shadow. I stood up, heart pounding, and approached the glass. And then, another tap, louder this time. I reached out and pulled the curtain aside just a little, just enough to see. A man in dark clothes stood on my balcony, face nearly pressed to the glass. He didn't move, didn't say a word, just stood there, staring at me. I stumbled back, almost knocking over a chair. I grabbed my phone and called 911, whispering into the receiver, trying to explain what was happening. But when I looked again, he was gone. I rushed to the balcony door, locked it, and pulled the curtain tight. The dispatcher stayed on the line with me until an officer showed up about 10 minutes later. They checked the balcony, the alley, the stairwell. Nothing. No one. But here's the part that still keeps me up at night. The officer pointed out something I hadn't noticed before. On the outside of the glass door, just above the handle, were 2 smudged handprints, as if someone had tried to slide the door open. I still don't know how he got up there. I don't know what he wanted. And worst of all, I don't know if he's ever coming back. After that night, I bought new locks, a security camera, and a piece of wood to wedge into the track of the sliding door. Because every time the lights flicker now, I can't help but check that balcony.